my last video, I said I think one of the most important things I think now is that Rolex shoes shouldn't be put in a category. You'd say we got luxury watches, we got dive watches, we got utility watches, we got tool watches, we got digital watches, we got Rolex, we got this. Rolex is in like a category of itself. I think that's the best way you can describe Rolex. Otherwise, you just get into arguments with it's better than this or better than that. And, I mean, I've seen some Omega watches with tourbillons and stuff. It's just amazing. And Rolex doesn't even make any of those watches.
Yeah,
it's like
they're really
the
conservative.
best. For me, it's like, well,
overly conservative, if you ask me.
I sent that one. Sent to Matt Stevens. And I'll send it to. Oh, I'm gonna send it to Lord David. He's gonna go like, what the fuck? He likes my videos, and he's like the biggest Rolex fan.
Yeah.
He just laughs his head off whenever I criticize Rolex.
All right, so which one? There's one for each of us. Which one?
Oh, cool. I'll take that one.
Okay. And I don't know which is which, by the way. So here, you want to do yours first? I want you to get your reaction.
Yeah, let me send these pictures.
All right, sure.
Because it's just going to be fun to see their reactions. Andy, I'll send one to Andy. There we go.
Grand Seiko.
It's gonna come in. I definitely am gonna get reactions to this one.
Yeah.
They're gonna go like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Is this like Instagram you're doing, or?
No, it's just Messenger.
Okay. That is beautiful.
It is a great watch. Yeah, it is. I repaired actually. I repaired the bezel because it was very tough, and I just took the risk and put some WD-40 in it, and now it turns like a charm again.
Yeah, it feels really smooth. Okay,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have known it had been repaired. It feels really high quality. So.
But you know, actually, the Pelagos, within a month that I got it, I actually managed to get the bezel to come off.
Really?
I fell down the stairs, grabbed the stairs, and the watch came locked between the stairs and the wall with my weight on it. So just popped the bezel off and it clunked and then down the stairs. And I was like, no, because it was my first watch. You know, it's like I didn't know what was going to come. €50 they put it back on, so I was like,
€50.
Yes, like $60.
Oh wow! Did you try to do it yourself?
Yeah, but it doesn't work. You know,
Really?
It's got this little spring inside and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a nightmare. I mean, people pop off Rolex ones with butter knives. Oh, thanks. I can't imagine doing that. That would freak me out.
Well, the thing is, and that's what I found later, is that it sticks so ever slightly over the edge of the case. So that's the reason why it came off.
So this is 60 click, which
it's the best bezel I know. It's probably
I much prefer 60 click than 120. I don't need to get that half a minute.
It doesn't make much sense.
Love to just line it up. I'm that OCD that it bugs.
Oh yeah, me too. You won't find any of my. And actually, one of the mistakes on the Blue Lagoon was that some of them didn't line up well. So some people bought a Blue Lagoon and they found out that the top bezel didn't line up with the and that's just
this is just too many clicks for me. I just
and it's kind of a tough bezel.
All of mine are. This is 120,
and this is in that case a bit of a disappointment. I mean, this watch is nice, you know, it's got the open case back and everything, but then if you feel the bezel, it's like plastic. It's like, what the hell? You pay $1,000 for a watch and you get a bezel like this?
Yeah, here, let me trade you. That's got a the sound of that's sort of off. It doesn't sound tight. Not bad. A lot better than.
Yeah, but it's just like, is that a bezel for $1,000 watch? It's like
not with that sound.
If you're used to this.
See, that's really intrusive. If you're somewhere quiet and you want to set your bezel.
If you do that,
it's like an announcement.
People think you'd be tinkering with your
bomb
or
so
something.
I'm gonna meet you at 43 past the hour. Okay, hold on. Oh, I've got a luxury watch here. No. I mean that would be really quiet is.
You're sitting in a mosque or something. You just go there.
Well, it is.
People go like, what the?
Exactly. It is kind of. I mean, if somebody sets a time with you or something, and you look at your watch and adjust something, it is kind of weird, right? And if it's clicking on. Okay, this is a Citizen. Yeah, Citizen Automatic.
Grand Touring Sports. It's a signature series. It's actually I had to import it.
Did you get this before you got that?
No, this is one of the latest ones.
Really?
This has probably the best anti-refractive coating I've ever seen on any watch. Especially at night, it just looks like you can just grab the hand.
Do you wear this one the most? Which do you wear the most?
The Pelagos I wear the most.
Yeah.
I love the masculinity of the Mudmaster though. I love to wear that one.
The G-Shock.
I've been wearing this one a lot.
G-Shocks a lot.
I don't know. It's just the last year suddenly. I never had any G-Shock because I don't like the rubber. But this is a great watch. It's got GPS. It's got everything. I like, of course, I like the Psycho. I love my Psychos.
Man, this is.
Pelagos. Just wear it. Just put it on.
All right.
It's just it's a titanium and just.
It's got the micro adjust. Yeah, that's really nice.
It's got the springs on the inside of the band.
You know, in a way, I wish I'd brought the Hydro.
Actually, I saw your video with the Hydro.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
That is a beautiful watch. I've seen it. Is it too wide or? No, I mean this one.
Oh, this one. No, this is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's.
We must have the same wrist size.
Yeah, this is slightly too. This one's got a. Does this have a micro adjust?
Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's just you got it with a toothpick. That's, I guess, the one drawback of that and the Hydronaut.
Slightly, you can see it just.
Right.
Not too much, but.
It's
if I wear it like on a daily basis, I'd probably put it like 1 or 2.
It either does that, or you get some crown dig. Not this one, but the Hydronaut. That's my one criticism with it. Well, I've got a few, but that's the main one. It's a lot of space there to dig into your hand.
But the funny thing is, I saw the Hydronaut on Chrono 24 and so on, and I really didn't like the way it looked. And then I saw it in the video, and I saw the depth, and the sides that it actually protects the bezel and stuff with the case.
Yeah.
I was like, that's actually quite a nice looking watch.
Yeah, that's what sold me on it actually. The way the bezel is nestled in there into the case, that's really odd. I mean,
but it looks nice.
It does. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't go with that. Yeah, it didn't resonate or something. I think they lost it with the second incarnation, the Hydronaut 2. I mean, that's when it gets really ugly.
It is, and you don't hear many people about it. Not many people have it, and the people who have something to say in the watch world, like Archie, he just slams it every time he talks to the Hydronaut.
Yeah, I would go Hydronaut 2, but I would buy it because it's ugly.
Right.
But I think the Hydronaut 1 actually is genuinely attractive. Hydronaut 2 is kind of one of those. It's cool if you like the original Hydronaut and sort of. An interesting tutor around that time was the. What is it called? The one, the Aeronaut. And it's got,
the GMT, is that?
Yeah, it's got a GMT, and it's got pushers on the. What would that be? The 2 and the 4. And that's to advance the hour hand, the local hour hand. Right. So you come back to, say, Amsterdam from Japan, you would
click
pop this 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it would just.
That's not that bad of an idea.
That's a great idea.
It's better than just opening the crown.
Exactly.
And turning
it's almost
it.
better than that idea. I guess the one drawback is you have all these buttons on it. And then the one over here on the left side, I think is like a quick set date or something like that. Or maybe that's the. But it's got it's got the crown and then 1, 2, 3 pushers, which is a lot of controls, but it works. I mean,
it works good, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of the biggest issues with this one. It's got a quick set date. If you pull out the crown, if you pull it out the first position, you can change the date, the time.
Quick set date, not quick set hour.
No, quick set date. If you pull it out all the way, so 2 pull-outs, second position, it will automatically forward the date 1 time. But that's insane, because if you want to set the watch, chances are 99% you're going to pull it out too far and you'll set the date 1 day in advance.
Yeah.
So 1 day further. So you have to pull it out 30 times to get it back to the original spot.
Wow.
Which is very bad for the movement.
Interesting.
And it's just like, why did they make it like that?
Yeah, sometimes things don't make a lot of sense. I'll give an example. So I brought this Seiko speed timer to Holland, and
there might be a vintage watch store interested in it.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna flip this watch. I'm not feeling. I like it. It's weird. I don't know why I don't like it. I think it's a beautiful watch. It's perfect size.
You bought it in Japan?
Yeah. I mean, I got a good price on it, and it works perfectly. It just. I think it doesn't have a totalizer. And
it's 70s or something?
Yeah, I think it's the 70s. Yeah, and because it doesn't have a totalizer, it's just weird.
What's a totalizer?
Totalizer keeps track of the minutes, like 1 minute. All this does is you can. Oh, and actually, this is stuck right here, and then it goes back. And this is a flyback chronograph in the sense
it's a chronograph.
Yeah, but it's flyback. Watch this.
Cool.
And you can start it again.
That's great. Yeah, I don't understand watches with like I used to like the Speedmaster, but when I found the chronograph hand is the second hand, it's like I want to see the watch. I want to see the hand turn.
Yeah, well, this doesn't have a totalizer, so I guess it's just for timing speed. You know, so I mean, it really is a speed timer only. Otherwise, I guess it's like a below 60-second timer. But when you're changing the date, you actually have to push the crown in. Like this.
Right, yeah.
See, look at that. You can just push it in, which is convenient. But when you set the time, if you need to tweak the time and you push the crown down, you either have to assume that you pushed it in enough, or you have to push it in all the way. But that changes the date. It advances it.
Right.
And so every time you set it, you have to press it 14 more times.
So that would be one for the watch winder, for example. So you don't have to set it all the time.
Yeah, but
it's automatic.
Even if you're wearing it, you might want to catch it up or slow it down, you know, and so you're going to need to get in it, and so, but anyway, it's just sort of an idiosyncrasy of it. Yeah. It's an interesting watch, but.
Yeah. So what are you asking for it?
Well, I'm not going to put this on the channel, but I'm not going to put this on. I got it for 200, and I think I could probably sell it through the channel for 300.
Yeah. That would be good. Good idea.
In fact, I probably will get more selling it through the channel than going to like a watch.
We could put it on my channel as well. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll say it's for sale.
Okay.
Shall I, before we open the case, we'll have a look if I got any messages back.
Sure.
Don Haynes.
What does he say?
Dude, you got an Explorer too.
I don't know.
Hey, you want to take a picture of me? Dude,
I'm wearing the Salagos.
No, sit next to me. And
so to me, it's very
he's gonna flip. He's gonna flip because
this guy's a newbie.
Yeah. Who are these guys?
I don't know. Okay, let's take a look at what a warranty card should look like. Okay, Calvin. So you said that you received the watch.
He's gonna go. Who's that guy? He's gonna go. That's Don.
But we're missing the warranty card.
Don.
First, before we get into the warranty card, did you receive the hanged head?
I stopped watching Clyde because he only talks about sticker gate and all that stuff. And I was like,
I don't know about that.
Should you take off the stickers of your new Rolex? Would you buy a Rolex that still has the stickers on? It's like,
I totally would.
Like, what do I care about this little kind of?
I'd keep it.
You keep it, but it's not like a deal breaker if it's not there. If I want to have the watch.
Let me see if this thing's
because I'm going to wear the watch.
Because it's focusing nice, and it's not blowing out the.
Is it running?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And so check that out. Okay.
All right.
So this.
You bought it in Holland. I can see.
Yeah. This is gonna blow your mind. Now, I'll see how much you know about this because these are like my new awesome. Shtick. Yeah, my new shtick. I love these things. I might quit watches and go into these.
All right. We'll have a look.
Not really, but yeah, check it out.
Oh, the touristic. Wrapping.
I know. I'm such a tourist. I give the locals.
Well, we're going to go through the houses because it doesn't get any more touristic than that. But you know, that's fine. Oh, I think I know what it is. I can see it a little bit from there. That's a whole hobby by itself.
This?
I think, yeah. It's let me get a scissors.
Oh yeah, I've got scissors actually, right here.
Okay. Don't worry. Thank you.
So I bought a Swiss Army knife, but you can't walk around Amsterdam with blades. So.
Oh, you can walk around with that.
Look what I did. I actually filed this and made a butter knife.
You're not allowed to walk with knives with the blade longer than 6 or 7
Oh,
centimeters.
it's the same in Japan. Okay, I didn't want to. I couldn't find a definitive answer, so I just filed supposedly for it.
When I used to work with security, I always check in the people coming in with knives, and because all the French people have OP nails with them.
What kind?
The wooden French pocket knives. Every Frenchman has one.
Why? It's just like that thing they do.
Yeah, it's like their
Knives
Swiss
are
Army
great,
knife, but they're French, so they're a bit.
Are they big?
Chauvinistic? It's it's even a French word.
Are they big? Big blade length? The French.
Yeah, they're like on the verge of 6-7 centimeters. So some of them are allowed in, some of them aren't.
All right.
But the police won't arrest you or something, but just not allowed. You might get into trouble if you want to go into a museum or something. Oh yeah, mate. Great, yeah. KLM. I was just going to tell you, it's like the KLM kind of.
And so there's.
Yeah, these have been around.
There's booze in there. And
I thought Bols is one of the biggest booze companies in the world, actually.
I thought we could open these and drink them. They don't make them anymore, but why not? I bought them specifically to drink.
Cool. Yeah.
You want to try it?
Sure.
So that's the thing. She said you have to use. Okay, it's like wax right there. I guess you can use your fingernail, but she said people melt it off.
Well, it breaks off as well.
Yeah. Oh, really? See, this is a.
I think you can melt it off.
Yeah, that's what she said. But she said basically people don't drink these apparently. Do you know the story about these? They don't make them anymore. But KLM.
There we go.
Oh yeah, look at that. And then I guess a corkscrew. Oh, look at that. Here, let's see.
They don't make them anymore, but these are new, right?
No, these are old.
So what's inside would still be good to drink?
Yeah. Well, she wouldn't confirm that it was drinkable.
Well, we'll have a look. Let's get 2 glasses.
I said it's not going to kill us, and
awesome.
she was like, well,
if it's strong liquor, it will be.
That's what she said. Yeah, she was just like kind of questioning why anybody would ever drink one, but that's the experiment. That's what we're doing.
It's not the right glass for it, but it'll do for now.
All right, let's see.
I don't think I ever used these glasses. Let me just see how you would get. I think you have to use a screw thing, wouldn't it?
Doesn't have a corkscrew, this Victorinox, but all right. So.
I think it will work though.
I think she thought I was going to take these directly on the plane. I was sort of evasive about whether I was going to drink them.
Yeah, this is like, it says 71, so this is house number 71.
Yeah.
So they got like 100 or 150 different ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You used to buy them on the plane. That's cool. Yeah, these are actually collectible. There's a lot of people who collect these.
Yeah, that's why she was sort of appalled. Not appalled, but she was sort of like, drink it?
Open them?
Drink it?
You're going to lose the value of the house?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, I asked her how many of these exist, and she didn't know, or, is it 10,000 of these? Is it, 500? Is it 5,000? Is it 50,000? Because the less there are, the less you'd want to drink it, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who have them left and right, and they would put them on the mantelpiece.
Oh, yeah?
Or use them as a mantelpiece.
All right.
I think it will have gin inside.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Jenever?
Jenever, yeah, gin. Jenever.
My pronunciation, she told me how to say it.
Jenever.
Jenever, okay. Is that it?
In England,
she packed
gin,
it.
But it's the same thing.
She packed it well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look. You can use the scissors if you want.
Yeah, I'll get some use out of this. This is that Swiss, Guido? We don't use non-Swiss things.
I don't have many Swiss things, to be honest. I just found out, actually, you can burn any flag in Holland, but not the Swiss one.
No, I didn't know that. Huh.
No, I didn't know that either. Supposedly there's something in history that we promised the Swiss never to burn the Swiss flag in Holland. It's just interesting.
All right, I give up. I'm going to take the big one. There we go. Let me see.
Make some space there.
You did a great job opening yours. It took me like half an hour to do it. All right, so mine is 56.
56.
House 56. All right, let's see.
So these are canal houses.
I guess,
These
yeah.
are the houses you'll find near the Amsterdam canals. You can try burning it off, it's okay. But
Burning it? Yeah, so you use your nails, right? Or maybe I'll use... Hey, so I file this down. This is my butter knife now. It was a blade, but I was unsure about traveling with it, so what do you think? And it's my official...
I like it when people think that Dutch people are quite strict, so that means they'll just behave better when they're here.
Well,
you know, it's a country of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So
yeah, well,
okay
I'm dubbing this my Dutch gen opener.
Good.
For KLM houses. You know how some rock stars, like I think Ace Frehley, he was into whoops, sorry, I think there were like pieces flying off.
Yeah, that's okay.
He was into, what is that champagne? What is the champagne called?
Who?
Ace Frehley of Kiss. What's the really expensive champagne? Dom Perignon. That's it.
Well, it's not. Well, yeah, it's champagne.
Yeah, and he, at the height of their career, he was like into Dom Perignon only. Right? And so, as a rock star, can you imagine being into these houses?
Oh yeah, weird people do weird stuff.
For your channel, this should be your drink of the channel.
Everybody who comes around has to drink one of those.
Can you imagine getting so into these that you drank them all and because they stopped making them, you finished them off? A single person, their goal, and could you do that?
Well, I think it's like collecting Star Wars memorabilia, and you open up the case. You know, a lot of these Star Wars dolls and everything, they're still in the original sealed plastic boxes.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd open them, they lose like half their value.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same with this one. That's why people don't drink them, because they want to have them to keep their value. But they probably make a lot of these as well, so it will take like 30 years.
Yeah, well, the value today is in the experience.
Exactly.
Right, so, all right, well, let's...
You want to give it a try if you can open it like this?
Sure, yeah.
I got one here.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it's not going to...
I think you'll have to do it manually.
Yeah.
Just try and stick it in like this, and then... Oh, there we go.
Oh, it comes out nicely? All right.
Yeah, just try and turn it in, and then just pull it out. Just very slightly, because it will go. Oh, you pushed it through?
Oh, I think it did go through.
Oh, that works fine as well.
All right.
Looks like gin. Yours got a different color. Look.
Huh. All right. So this is 56 is older, and yours is
maybe I'm not.
Yeah,
sure.
because this is 56.
Well, if it's whiskey, it's no problem.
And the higher the number, the I guess the more contemporary the production. So this is a newer one. So obviously that would be lighter. Look at that, and you really can see the difference.
That's interesting.
So the ones that are like 80. Houses 80 and above are more expensive, and the ones that are 1 to something like 65, they're the cheapest ones, and then the
that's
between
strange.
ones, yeah,
because normally when it's older, it's more expensive.
Exactly, but I think they made them and they continued to make them, like House 1, they continued to make the entire run, and so but House, 81 was made for less time. And so anyway, let's
try it, mate. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow, that's strong. I mean, it's gin. But, I mean, I think it's great.
Tastes fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
No, I mean, it's got some flavor, too. Wow.
Good.
If you want to try the darker one, be my guest.
Yeah, let's see if there's any difference. This smells stronger. Yours is stronger. This one is lighter. It tastes lighter. Probably has the same amount of alcohol. They say the dark, the if you want to prevent a hangover, you should drink liquor that doesn't have any color. As soon as liquor has color, it's got chemicals and there's a bigger chance of hangover.
Right.
So that's why people drink vodka, gin, and all that kind of stuff instead of Safari.
You know, the funny thing is, though, I've, through experience, have had less hangovers on whiskey, which is sort of counterintuitive because whiskey has all this char stuff from the inside of the barrel, which is basically like
But
CO2.
if it's like a single malt quality whiskey.
Well, they were pretty quality. They were just really standard, you know, and but vodka tends to give me a hangover. I don't know why.
All right.
Isn't that odd? It's opposite with me.
I must say, one of the biggest hangovers I ever had was when drinking a quarter of a bottle of Japanese whiskey.
Oh, okay.
That
Well,
really fucked me up. It's like
so I gotta say, I do taste the difference. I don't know which one is better. I don't know
Look at
which
the
one I
little
like
cork.
more.
This
Look at
looks
that.
nice.
Yeah. That is so cute. Isn't that cute? Here, let's pull it off.
Let me just, shall I?
Yeah, if you want to get a...
There you go.
That is... Look at that.
You could put it back on.
Yeah, you could, I mean... Would you just uncork it and then, you know, chug it on the plane? You couldn't even really open it on the
Oh
plane.
yeah, you're allowed to drink small amounts of liquor on the plane.
How would they get it open, I wonder? Would they have like a little corkscrew or...
Oh yeah, they will. They'll have just a waiter's knife.
That
They'll
so
just
cool.
open it.
So these are like 15 euros for one and 20 for another one. So it's basically like an expensive sort of glass of
Small little
yeah
monster bottles.
Yeah, but this is quite an experience. Much more. I mean,
Or you could use this and put this like I said. People actually collect these, all the different ones. Every time they fly, they buy another house because they're all different houses, and they'll put them on their like a mantelpiece.
Yeah.
They'll put them on the.
What I'm interested in is they using it because I've got to say, you know, you could buy. I guess a shot in a bar would be $5.
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah, but you pay for the house. You pay for the stone.
Yeah, exactly. Three times that, but you get the house. But the fact that it's, I'm just fascinated by the fact that you can't get these anymore.
It's collector stuff, so that means that it's going to be. I mean, when we go to the Sounds today, you'll find loads of this touristic stuff.
Right. So once these are gone, if I have my facts straight, they're gone. That means we're drinking one of a limited number of gins out there.
Yeah, of course they make them in a certain amount of numbers, but probably not many people, especially the collectors, will not drink it. So, people buying them and drinking them, that would be kind of rare.
I might just that might be my new hobby, just buying these. Cheers, man. Buying these and just drinking them, and I'll see how many I can kill in my lifetime. What if I was?
I thought kill on the plane.
What was now? If I made it my life goal to drink every one of these, would I be infamous? You can't get a full bottle anmore because this American.
Well, I think the original gin inside will be available. It probably is Ketel Ain.
Yeah,
or
but not
it's
this.
going to be Olifant, or it's going to be something like that. So they fill it with gin, just gin you probably can buy in the shops. But coming from
the bottle, that's the whole
house.
thing. That's the whole thing. Yeah. You would. Here, let's see me.
Yeah, let's turn it aside. We can sit next to each other. So. I might, if you can, I will upload this to my channel as well.
Yeah,
Because it would be cool just to show
Definitely.
everyone who's here. Look who's here! Look who the cat dragged in!
So
Am I allowed to swear on your channel?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Shit, bitch, fuck, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits?
I'll just make a separate video for that.
That's the way I started my last video. Hi, this is Guido Pelagos.
No monetization. Do you do monetization?
No. I don't want to have commercials. I have only 1,000 subscribers.
I'm a corporate sellout. I do have commercials.
No, I don't want to have people having to watch the rerun Golden Girls commercial before I come on with my... And everything I would make anyway would be demonetized, because I swear. I'm not Archie, but I swear as well. Mm-hmm. I don't sell out. I don't get paid for anything. I don't endorse stuff that I... So, you know, it's a hobby for me. And you know, what money do you make? I think you make maybe 20... I would make like $20 a month.
You know,
it's not worth it. I mean, if you're Archie and or TGV, you could make like $1,000 a month. Then it's...
Well, you know what's interesting? Okay, do you remember when I got the Hydronaut? That video got 200,000 views, so I made about $400 on that.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was the first time where I actually saw the revenue just go up in a month, and then as that stopped getting popular, it went back down to what it is, which is about $100 a month. And
that's good.
So, but the spike was really interesting, and you know, if you can consistently get 200,000 views,
I think my channel in total doesn't even have 1 million views in my complete history of YouTube.
But I guess what I'm saying is you can look at a YouTuber and sort of get an idea about what kind of money
some of them.
making.
If you look at PewDiePie, for example, what that guy makes is more than a CEO of a bank makes. He's got 54 million or 60 million subscribers. There's more subscribers than people that live in Spain.
Now, obviously, not all of those watch, but...
Yeah, but I would say like a quarter of them do. It's like 10 million views per video. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, it's like $10,000 a video. It's like, imagine, it's a lot of money. But I don't know. It's just... You know, and I see also on YouTube that, especially within the watch community, everybody who monetizes his videos, they get slammed. You know, they're like, oh, you're shilling this, you're shilling that, and you make money making YouTube and this and that. So, there you go. So this is what it's a hobby.
Drinking Dutch gin with a Dutch gentleman. This is a pretty amazing day, I gotta say, Guido.
Cheers.
Man, this is pretty
even better because we're going to go to the South of France. You're going to see some
really cool being here. Cool seeing your cat.
Yeah,
that is a lovely cat. I love cats.
Oh yeah, it's Vriendje, little friend.
Cats is right up there with.
Look, he's over there.
With watches and Dutch gin and.
Yeah. Now we just need some cheese and stuff, but we can get that at the South of France. It's full of cheese. They'll be making wooden shoes and all that touristic stuff. It's just
do typically people just chug this gin
you can just, well, I think both, but you know, it's normally, this is not like a true gin glass, but it's like the same amount as if you put in like a small glass that will have gin in it. And I think there is, like we call a Snow White, which is gin with a beer. And you just drop the glass of gin in the beer, or something like that.
Oh,
there's all kinds of different ways to do gin.
Are you much of a drinker?
Not really.
No, me neither.
I get hangovers pretty quickly, so I have to be a bit careful.
Oh, you're the same age. I'm 42 and you're 40, right? Yeah. I don't know if that's common knowledge on the channel.
Oh yeah.
But hangovers are nothing to mess around with once you hit your 40s.
Oh no! You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the first 5 minutes you go like, oh, that's okay, and then suddenly you go like, oh no, it's not okay.
It just doesn't wreck you for the next day, but it wrecks me until the day after that as well. It lasts for days. This like nagging headache.
And it's even worse when you smoke. I quit smoking altogether, but if you smoke and drink. Then definitely the next day you're gonna be
ton of toxins.
Yeah, that's really bad.
See, I've never seen the logic in cigarettes. They just don't do it for me. But
well, I used to smoke a lot of pot as well. I used to make videos. There's some of my videos that are in green. And I put them especially in green just to remember myself that I was stoned making a video. And you won't see my red eyes if the video is in green. But normally I don't smoke pot anymore, so that's fine for me to say. So there's actually a video for everyone who knows is pot or weed, the aftermath, is where I describe why you should
link
stop.
In the description.
Yeah, why you should stop smoking it, and you know, I think Alan Watts says when you get the message, hang up the phone. Okay. And that's the same with drugs. When you tried it and you know what it is, stop doing it.
Yeah,
you know? And
that makes a lot of sense.
And marijuana is like it's a great medicine. as long as you use it as a medicine.
Right,
and a lot of people just smoke it to relax.
Right.
Or to forget about life.
I can see, yeah. Well, bringing that back to alcohol, I mean, these days, 1 or 2 is, I think, all I can handle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I used to drink 10 drinks a night. You know, that's something I could handle, but that would kill me the next day.
I could still drink. I had 4 cans of beer last night.
Yeah? See?
And I was a little bit tired in the morning. But I shouldn't drink more, because if I drink 7 or 8 cans, I'm going to be... But it all depends on how much sleep did I get, how much food did I eat. You know, if I'm tired and I didn't eat much, definitely going to have a hangover. There's just no chance that it's not going to be there. But if I had like a good
beer
big
tends
meal,
to give me a hangover. So I don't know if it's the hops, if I'm allergic to hops or something, but it'll be interesting to see how this... Well, it's just one, so I probably won't even notice it, but it would be interesting to get drunk on these. I wonder if it would be less of a hangover or more of a hangover.
I think you get drunk.
4 beers would wreck me for the next day. I would get like this beer headache. Beer just...
Well, in a sense, it's the same as a beer, because the glasses are smaller and the alcohol percentage is higher. So in comparison, a glass or a can of beer is the same as a glass of gin.
You would think that the water would just help you, but for some reason 4 beers just...
No, because it just drains all the water out of you. You have to go to the toilet 25 times.
So maybe I'm better off with... I mean, look, I'm not starting drinking or continue drinking.
Right, no.
I'm just... If I was going to throw down and party, I'm wondering, like, if Jen would... Jen would...
I think that's why
it would be better for
older men normally drink like gin and vodka and that kind of stuff instead of beer.
Yeah.
Beer is like a young guy's drink. You know, you go out and drink happy hour. Everybody's got like 4. I remember when I did give the improv workshops on a Saturday night, I would have like a group of British kids, like 16, 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds. And they'd be just sitting there at the bar at Saturday night, all having this 5 or 6 glasses of beer around them. And I was like, why don't you just buy one after another? You know, it's no, but it's a Saturday night. This is what we always do. You know, it's just normal to have like 6 or 7 beers around you and just drink them, and then you... I don't get it. I never got it, by the way. I'm not a big drinker.
You buy 6 and set them out, and you don't do one at a time?
Yeah, they'd sit at the bar with 4 beers in front of them.
That's crazy. That's
that's
a
what I
commitment.
thought. That's
crazy. A commitment to binge drinking.
Well, they do. I don't want to be bad to the British, but they're kind of a big drinkers.
Yeah,
if they go out,
but
they
do one at a time.
They don't go out to drink. They go out to get drunk.
Yeah, but they don't. They do one at a time. But it's the whole 4 open beers.
Yeah, that was the youth. I don't think they did, but I remember that. You know, they go up to the bar and get 4 beers, and they give you 2 and take 2 themselves, because otherwise they'll have to walk back in 5 minutes. So at least you'll have 2 already. And I could sip beer, but a lot of people just drink beer.
2 makes sense, having a backup, but when you get into 4, that's like what's going on there. So go ahead and unscrew the crown and.
So there we go. I'm wearing a Rolex, guys. So if you're watching this on my channel, all the hateful comments underneath the video, please.
So you might be a convert after this. You might be a convert.
Probably won't, because I'm never going to get a Rolex unless somebody buys me one. No, just we were talking about monetization. I said the only reason why I would monetize my channel is to fund a Rolex.
Why not?
So that after like 2 or 3 years, I will get that Rolex I would never buy, review it, and probably never wear. But it's just to because so many people say, oh, you got a collection, you've got to have a Rolex. You know, there's no collection without Rolex, that kind of shit.
Yeah, we don't have to have one, but personally speaking, I would want one. I mean, that's you know, everybody has a different feeling towards Rolex, and for me,
that's pretty handy to just move the hour hand around.
Yeah, isn't that nice? You just pop it over, pop it back
and forth. Because normally you would move the GMT hand.
Well,
with most watches.
The GMT would work better because you would just mess with the bezel. You would just turn the bezel. Now, the GMT is.
So you got 3 times actually.
Yeah, well, kind of. I would disagree with the way people say that. I know Rolex says that as well sometimes, but to me, at any given time, you can only see 2 time zones. You know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah, you can see 2 and you can calculate the 3rd one.
I guess, well, yeah, in a way, but that's not luxury, calculating yourself. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you can actually say that, but people do. But the interesting thing about the GMT is you can just use the bezel only, whereas on the plane, I had to actually get into the crown of that. And here's the thing: if you have that watch and you're living in Japan, and I have my time set to American time, okay, Eastern Standard Time, and so traveling with that watch, if I just pop over the local time, then I have American time and Amsterdam time, but I don't have Japanese time anymore. So what you have to do actually is to set that to your home time, the 24-hour hand, to Japan, and the other one to Japan. And then when you travel, that's when you the local time. But that's not the way you use it, because then I don't have American time anymore. So just in practice, without a doubt, the GMT is, with the rotating bezel, is 10 times more convenient.
Right.
You just don't have to get into the crown.
Well, in all honesty, if I go traveling, I know it's not a Rolex, but I would take something like this. You know, just the this is the Citizen Skyhawk, and it has UTC.
Yeah.
It has a second time zone. You can put like the normal one, and in the digital part another time. So you know, it's very easy to set. And
tool-wise, this is great. You're getting into like iPhone territory with me when I see a watch like this, because would I do a watch this technologically advanced? Probably not. I would just depend on my iPhone. You know what I mean? I'm a real like give me mechanical or just.
Well, that's the reason why. I like it because it's still
only.
Functional with timing and timing stuff, like
it's
the
totally
G-Shock and stuff.
Totally practical.
But if it gets towards smartwatches, then I would say, yeah, we'll use my phone. Why would I want to read my email on my watch?
Oh,
it's
totally.
Completely irrelevant.
I'll never be an Apple
People
guy.
say, oh, I can watch the time on my phone. And it's like, no, I actually do all the smart stuff on my phone, and I have a watch just to turn my wrist and see what time it is. And it's and I keep saying, it's the only piece of jewelry you're allowed to wear as a man just anywhere.
Yeah. So you get a total pass.
Yeah. So you can have a ring, but any other kind of jewelry is just not going to work. So yeah, definitely.
Pelagos, this is amazing.
I think the glass is a bit dirty.
Yeah. This is a high quality watch for sure.
It's lovely. It's the titanium, and it's got the ETA movement. It will be serviceable for the rest of my life.
Here I'm turning your Grand Seiko, and I'm turning this. You can just feel quality. I mean, the Seiko that I have right there, kind of an interesting watch, but
just turn off the video.
This is just totally a different feel.
Oh yeah,
this is just like
no comparing.
No, it's not. There's something.
The bracelet is the first thing that you know.
Oh well, yeah, this is aftermarket bracelet, but there's something. Did you press the buttons?
Not yet.
Yeah, try kind of mess around.
Have you seen this watch? Probably all not focused, but
it might get it. But people, I think, have seen it on my channel, and you can link in the description, and I'll do that. But this is a flyback chronograph, and
I love the flyback kind of thing, though.
I think when it comes to vintage watches, I think when age and lack of technology can give things sort of a cheap feel, but also brand, right? So if this was a similarly aged Rolex, then it would be distinctly, I think, more cheap feeling than say my Rolex, or even definitely contemporary Rolex like the ceramic GMT. But with that, it's a double whammy, because it's a Seiko, which is kind of a lower end brand in a way, still respectable but lower end, and is vintage. And at the time, I don't know if they were really making them to last.
I think it's awesome.
Do you think they were making them to last back then? I don't think so. I don't think they were.
Well, I think they always made quality. I don't think they actually made them to last, but since they just made quality watches, they will last.
Yeah.
It's not luxury, but it's quality. So, like all the Pogues that are still around, and you could also always service them.
Right. Whereas Tudor and definitely Rolex, I think is both. You get the luxury, but also the
they're built to
quality.
Last. They're built to last. Otherwise, they wouldn't put an ETA in a Tudor.
I think that's because
why I don't really see the sense of having an in-house movement in a Tudor, because you if you want to have an in-house kind of a watch, I would say you might want to buy a Rolex then.
Well, I think
unless you really like the way the Pelagos
is
looks.
There ETA in this?
That's the original one. That's the first one. Yeah,
ETA?
That's the ATA 28.
I think this is and they're not making it with the ETA anymore.
No, this one they actually what they did.
This is a collector's item, probably.
Yeah, what they did with the new Pelagos they put they call it the broccoli because they put like 5 lines. This is a 2-liner. They put 5 lines of text in it, and they sacrificed the 3 o'clock loom marker because the date wasn't able to put in or something with the new movement. So they sacrificed a perfectly loomed hour marker just to put an in-house movement in. It also has a different case back. This has like the Rolex case back still.
Well,
so that's just, you know, I think it's a nicer watch. But still, you know, you can't go wrong with the
I think this is the way to go. The ETA, well, you know,
always like the first generation always is.
The Hydronaut has the ETA, and I think that's sort of, I don't know, pre-Tudor ETA is just like the Gen. You just can't get it anymore. When you can't get something, I think things just change, and it's like, wow, you know, you know that in time. You know, in 100 years, there'll be less of these bottles of gin, and in 100 years...
That will probably still be around.
Well...
It's titanium.
And it is ETA, but getting your hands on one will be difficult in 100 years.
Oh, yeah, a funny thing is they probably are more or less, if you look around, they're the same price as second-hand in-house Tudor Pelagos. So they're probably more or less the same price, and especially in 5 to 10 years' time, they'll have the same price, and that will only go up next to the other ones. Actually, the left-hand Tudor Pelagos is the one that's making the most money at the moment.
Oh, really? Yeah, I made a video bashing that. You probably saw that video. Actually, it's a
terrible
video.
But I don't really see the use of a left-hand diver if you're right-hand.
You know, we often just switch our opinions, and I have that video.
Oh, yeah,
out.
we all do.
And that is funny because it's totally not representative of my opinion right now. I think left-handed watches totally make sense. And it's funny that, totally. Like, and I have that video out, and somebody would see that and be like, "Whoa, like you just don't like."
Oh yeah, but people don't always look at what date you make the video.
Yeah, I know, but it's,
I mean, I got questions about how's the Christopher Ward going. I'm like, I don't have one anymore.
Just for the record, I see the value in having a left-handed watch, especially wearing the Hydronaut that sometimes digs into the hand. Right. That totally makes sense. So, I think the Hydronaut is sort of the model before the Pelagos. Is it Pelagos or Pelagos?
Officially, it's the Pelagos. Yeah.
Pelagos.
Andy will know because he's
not
Greek.
Pelagos.
We all say Pelagos, but it's actually Pelagos.
Pelagos. Okay.
Pelagos. It means something like the center of the deep sea or something.
So I wish I had my Hydronaut here to compare these, but I think the Hydronaut possibly. See, it looks like it went sub, and then Hydronaut, and then Pelagos.
Actually, there is a rumor that the new Tudor is going to be like the old Tudor subs. That they're bringing out a new Tudor sub. So
that would be
so not the Black Bay, but a new Tudor sub.
With like not ceramic.
There probably will be ceramic. I think that everything is like new, but
well,
who knows? I don't know.
That'll make the vintage ones go up in price.
They already sell for $8,000 to $9,000. It's like. You could buy a secondhand Tudor sub from like early '80s or late '70s, and you pay more than a Batman. So
it's insane. So what's up? I mean, $2,000 USD, and you can get a Hydronaut. Why can you do that? Have just nobody realized? I think those things are future collectible.
I think I've said this as well. If you want to buy a watch now, I would say don't buy the Rolex. Buy the Tudors, buy the Omegas, buy the Breitlings, because they're actually suffering from the Rolex craze. A lot of people want to have Rolex now. So those watches are cheaper, and those will eventually go up again. And so you buy them now, and you buy them when Rolex goes down a little bit. You buy Rolex again. It's like, and I would sell my Rolex now, and would buy Rolex when the prices are a little bit down. And people say, "Oh, it's never going to happen."
I don't think it's going. Personally, I don't think it's going to go down.
The thing is that's with all the bubbles, and if you look at, for example, the Dutch housing market, I mean, there's a huge shortage of houses in Holland. And but we did have a huge house crash in 2008.
But that people lost contingent on population.
No, it was just like the idea of the houses prices always going bigger, that people were just putting more money in because they knew
but see, the thing is
more money.
You can buy a house and you can build another house, but you can't build another ETA Tudor, or you can't build another pre-ceramic steel sports watch of Rolex. And I think that's why.
But the value of something is when the value of something is at one point more in the head than in the product itself, even if it's rare or old, then it gets tricky. I mean,
Yeah,
it will still be
I
rare.
totally agree.
It will still, and I mean, the vintage Rolexes, they will not go down in money. I mean, if you want to have this Daytona or the Cosmograph or whatever, you're gonna pay.
Oh.
You're gonna just gotta pay for the rest of your life. But if you want to buy a Batman now and you pay like $10,000, and Rolex makes around $800,000 or
I would say
800,000 watches
yes.
a year, in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, you're gonna pay all the same or less.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't think you can make any statements about the future when it comes to Batman because they're still making them. I don't think you can say anything about the GMT they're still making. I think you can start talking about ceramics because they're done. Everyone's out there that is made, and yes, it might be in people's head, but as long as people still keep thinking the same way.
Yeah, but that's it. You never know.
But would Rolex ever become uncool? And that's the only thing that could knock it off its throne if it became sort of the watch brand of dolts and idiots.
Well, it already is becoming more or less. If you see all the soccer players, if you see all the fake rappers, they don't wear Hublot anymore. They don't wear Breitling. They all want to buy Roly. And this is what I.
But they might actually help it
like
because
they're doing. But this happened
ones.
before, right? In the 80s, you had the Datejust. The Datejust was like the Rolex to get, the gold Datejust. And then all the criminals were starting to wear the Datejusts.
Yep.
So people were moving forward to the sports watches because they didn't want to be put in a category with these criminals. So they started wearing Rolex. And even it's got a great name. It's the most reputable brand in the world, Rolex. Most reputable brand in the world.
Reputable, yeah.
Reputable brand in the world by Forbes. But if anything happens, if Rolex goodwill, if some scandal happens, they find out that kids are making Rolex slavery or whatever. Well, it's kind of weird to think so, but anything could happen to the name. That would
be such gross mismanagement by the people in charge.
It can happen.
It can.
If it becomes uncool to wear one,
that would
then
be.
It's like
if anybody connected on a business level with Rolex is in a very good and cushy position to jeopardize that by cutting corners and cutting costs, hiring kids and stuff like that, it would be the biggest fail of a person's lifetime to lose that.
Or you find out that the current CEO of Rolex is a pedophile or something.
Right.
That kind of weird stuff, you never know what might happen. And
that's
it might
interesting.
Turn uncool. You never know what... If Trump would start promoting Rolex tomorrow, you might lose a lot of its...
But things that they have control over, right? Which I guess you're saying, does anybody have control over their personal life? You know, if one of the people connected on a higher level...
Life is
higher echelons is, doing shady things or doing disreputable things, could that come back? Yeah, maybe. But as far as, like, set business decisions... I don't think we can say anything about any Rolex you can buy at the moment because we don't know whether they'll make more or make less. But I think you can definitely say something about this, right? Because they're just not making a 40mm Explorer 2 anymore. I don't think they'll ever go back to it. And if they do, it'll be different in some way. They will not just reissue that. And it is a moment in time of just like this.
It's a very
Rolex
strong
and
brand. So there's less worry that at one point they'll have to do concessions. Like what Longines did. They used to make brilliant watches, and now they make good watches, but it's not like upper luxury anymore. It's like mass market, good grade Swiss watch.
I don't know
which
how
is great for many people because I love my Longines, but it's not comparable anymore with Omega. While Longines in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s was like one of the brands.
How did they lose their way?
They just started to make it for the mass market, and probably because of the quartz crisis, that they were forced to walk a different direction. So Heuer and Tag Heuer.
If that's the case, then anybody with a Rolex better not in the same breath complain about the lack of supply, because that only protects you if you have a Rolex. If you're not on the Rolex wagon,
gets into trouble, and you cannot imagine it happening, but people didn't imagine that the half of the Swiss watch industry would go broke in the 70s. So if Rolex would have huge issues maybe at one point, and they will be sold off to Swatch, for example, you'll get Rolex made by Swatch, which would make Rolex a lot less attractive, but the old Rolex would be in demand beyond belief. You'd pay thousands and thousands of euros for a simple
I guess what I'm saying is I can't see a scenario where brand perception changes to the extent that people go back to, you know, a pre-ceramic GMT or a pre-ceramic sub and go, that's bullshit. I'm not paying more. And so I don't think you'll ever see it. You know, I just can't.
But there's a lot of stuff in the head. I mean, like I said,
but I just can't. I never think you will see the same. I don't think you'll be able to buy a sub for 4,000 USD, which is what I got my sub for. And I always try to think, you know, what makes an investment good. I think about the levers that need to be turned, you know, in public and in life and amongst humanity that would see that, you know, that object which is increasing in value by thousands a year take a turn. And I just cannot fathom what that would be.
Well, this is what history does. You know, history tends to repeat itself. You had the tulip mania bubble in the 17th century, and one tulip bulb at one point, which actually was a tulip with all kinds of colors. People thought it was one of the most magical flowers ever. Mm-hmm. In the end, they found it was actually a disease in the tulip bulb that made the tulip grow these colors.
Oh yeah.
But one single tulip bulb was just the same price at one point as a house. You know, and then they found out, we could clone our own tulip bulbs.
Right.
And then the whole market crashed, and
you never know.
People lost immensely amounts of money. And it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe we'll be able to get a replicator in 25 or 30 years' time. We can make our own Rolexes. You know, or they make fakes so close that even a watchmaker can't see the difference anymore.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I was going to say that's kind of a false equivalence. It's a good, you know, possible analogy, but a bulb which is replicable, it grows upon itself, and you can clone it. Is not like a watch. They can't make themselves, and in that sense, even if Rolex were to go back and make it 100%, and I'm when I say Rolex, I'm not focusing on Rolex, but you could say the same for Tudor or Breitlings or Omega, anything that they're just not making anymore, right? Even if they go back, the going back becomes part of the history and only sort of serves to enhance the previous you know, generations, and so. Yeah, I guess Patek is another. Patek and Rolex. I'm sort of in agreement with Archie here as far as, you know, value goes. And what's your take on that? What do you think is the best value watch out there? Value brand. Let's just keep it simple.
As an investment, none.
Not even
unless you got money to. I mean, if you got enough money to gamble, you can go to Vegas and spend 50,000 in a day and not be bothered. Sure, invest in watches because, you know, it's a fun kind of a risk-taking kind of thing.
But what brands and what models? This day and time, and let's do 2019.
I would say not really brand names. I would say rare watches.
Okay, so
rare watches like a rare Longines or a rare Rolex or a rare Omega, which is still in mint condition, which is hardly ever worn in case with papers and everything.
Yeah.
I think that will make money. Yeah, and of course the Daytonas and stuff that are going up now, maybe in the future, but try to find one to buy.
But see,
you
got
to put down $20,000-$30,000 already.
For $20,000 for a steel Daytona.
Yeah, I think it's insane. I mean, look what you can get. You can get a Patek. You can get Archie's.
Yeah, but Patek is not a Rolex. Patek's probably better than a Rolex, but it's not better resale value, and plus it's not as wearable, right?
No, it isn't.
And so really, I mean, I got to say, in many factors, I would choose, and I think many people would choose a Daytona over a Patek.
Yeah, I think.
But when I first got into watches, and this is a couple years ago, steel Daytonas, 14,000, you could get one, and now, when you start looking at the 18,000 USD, you see two tones. Those are the cheapest ones, two tones, and then it goes up, and about 20,000, you start getting the steel ones. I think right now, my guess would be, if you have the cash, a steel Daytona. But see, here's kind of something that's kind of interesting, and we're kind of switching gears here, but let me get your take on this, Guido. A GMT costs $10,000. Okay, you can buy a new one for $10,000. A new Daytona costs $20,000. You can go buy a vintage for $20,000. It seems like the vintage market, the prices are matching what you can buy a new one retail for. But you can't find in retail, so it's kind of a moot point.
Well, I think the vintage ones are the most secure ones
If
to buy.
Rolex ever increases the price of a GMT to 15,000 USD, I think you can be certain that pre-ceramics will go to 15,000.
The vintage will match the new ones every day.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely,
They'll
especially
match
because they're
every day.
rarer, and the new watch. And I'm not an economist, you know. I'm not really that into money and stuff. But you know, it's logical for me that anything that's rare and old and has a story, that will go with the new ones as well. Like that's why the Pelagos ETA, I'm not afraid that it will lose any money, because with every new generation Pelagos they bring out, I will still have the original generation one. And so that argument will always be there.
Exactly.
And if you look at Daytona, the ones that are very sought after are the one with the Zenith movement inside. So it's not always about the in-house. It's all exclusive
in
stuff.
fact, I think it's about the non-in-house with that. That's what makes it valuable.
Right, but in all honesty, and that's what I think is a bubble. It may be the general Rolex kind of thing, but what I think is the bubble is like if you have the Rolex that has a red dot behind the Submariner, or a red line, or a red date wheel, or anything that's quirky. Like, you know, you got Tiffany dials, and but those are very rare. But anything that makes like $20,000 more on the same watch only because it has a red line or you know, something
those
small
idiosyncratic ones.
Those are only for the real. And one of the things I really is a danger for many luxury watch brands, including Rolex. I think the fakes are going to be that good in a few years' time, even vintage fakes and stuff, that at one point you have to be a watchmaker to know if you're buying a genuine Rolex or genuine Omega second hand.
That will only
so
increase the market for real vintage
True,
rings.
but that might put a lot of people off because they say, I don't know what I'm buying second hand, I don't want to buy new, so or I have to take somebody with me who really knows this stuff, or I just buy a new Breitling because I know it's genuine, it's original.
Breitling will be worthless, and not worthless, but obviously that's the difference because people will go that route. Yeah, I don't.
But I think an investment in a watch.
But I don't think a watchmaker would ever say nobody will buy my pre-ceramic sub because the pre-ceramic subs from China are so good, so I can't sell this. So I'm going to drop the price from 7,000 to 5,000.
No, but
you know what I mean?
But you might have less buyers because they don't trust that you're actually selling a original.
Well, that's when papers and all that, you know.
But they fake everything. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
You can box papers, everything, and you know one of the things I really found. I sent Andy a book about this. There was this guy in the Second World War. He, you know, Vermeer. You might see him at the Rijksmuseum. Vermeer, a painter from the 17th century. He's known to be one of the most exclusive, best painters ever. There's only 30 paintings that they know of. So it's actually it's very exclusive, and he used blue a lot. And blue was like one of the most expensive paints ever in that time, because they made it of lapis lazuli, which is the blue that's also in the ring, and that came from Afghanistan and stuff, and they had to really do everything kind of thing to make paint out of it. So he was like a painter that didn't make too many known paintings, not many are left, and he also used very expensive paint for that time. So, and what people did, and there was this one guy, his name was Hans Vermeer, he was a master forger. And he started making Vermeer forgeries in the 30s. He even sold fake Vermeers to Hermann Göring, second man in the Nazi. And even in the Rijksmuseum, the general manager at that time, he was like, "Oh, they found a new Vermeer," and they had this huge exposition of this new Vermeer. But the guy just painted it in his backyard. What he did, he went to old bookstores and ripped off pages from books from the 17th century. He took old linen that he used to paint on, then he would put it in the oven, and he would break the paint a little bit so that it looked old. And
how many did he make?
All the specialists, they fell for it, and that was in the 30s. The guy could make.
I bet those fake ones are worth a lot now.
They probably have some value, but not that much.
That would be kind of a cool thing.
He was caught and he was put on trial, and they didn't believe that he faked them. So as part of his trial, he had to paint a fake new Vermeer.
But was he pleading guilty, or did he?
Yeah, he pled guilty.
And so he wanted to.
And there were two guards watching him when he started painting a fake Vermeer, because they didn't believe him that he could. And and there's he like I said he
Well, he helped,
pulled it on the Germans and
he helped them convict himself by painting as for them.
Yeah, I must say the story just.
That's when you might want to forget. Oh, I don't know what I was doing.
Well, he was living a luxury life. He had an ice skating rink in his cellar during the war, so he was living the high life because he was selling.
What is this guy's name?
Han Vermegen. I can give you the book to read. I got it here.
He sounds like a character now. That sounds like a painting.
It's a great story and what he did is he went, for example, he went to the Rijksmuseum. And he saw all these, and it's funny if you go there.
Now I want to buy one of his paintings.
And you could see like old cups from the 17th century, and he would look at Vermeer's paintings and like, oh, he used that cup and that cup, so he integrated that cup in his paintings. So people actually thought, look, that painting uses that cup, so it must be a Vermeer. But he was like 4 steps ahead.
That's clever. Oh, that's good.
And it's just
how long ago did he die?
I think he died in the 50s somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, but the story is amazing.
How much can you buy one of his paintings for? He sounds like
you can't buy them. They're probably they're in. I know the Rijksmuseum has a few in their archive. They're not for display, but they have to be in their archive.
Ones. That's amazing.
They did have an exposition
a famous faker. A famous faker.
And still there are and there are still people who still say like, if I walk in some of the Dutch museums or some of the museums in the world, I can point out fake Rembrandts, I can point out fake Vincent van Goghs, fake, because they have been faked in the past, but some of them are just so well known that they just say it's real. Like last week, they discovered that a painting they said was made by Adolf Hitler was not real. And last year they said, oh, they discovered a painting by Hitler because Hitler was a failed artist.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I saw a movie on the plane about this. What is it called? How Can You Forgive Me or something like that. I'll put a little thing right here for the name of it. But it's about faking literary letters from authors to their families and friends and stuff like that.
Right.
And interesting stuff. And they talk about and they mention in that movie the Hitler paintings.
Yeah. He made paintings. He just wasn't taken seriously, and. But now, and you're not allowed to really deal with them. Like you're not allowed to deal with coins with Hitler, stamps with Hitler, because they don't want to have this stuff going. Let me see, but I must have it here. It should be here in my.
Hey, I'm gonna cut that.